Hey real lifers! So many of my students ask me, where's the best place to start learning new vocabulary? My answer, probably right at home. So today I'm going to teach you some important vocabulary around the home as well as some interesting idiomatic expressions related to objects in the home. For example, do you know the difference between a photograph and a portrait? Well, a photograph can be an image of absolutely anything, while a portrait, on the other hand, is usually an image of a person or animal through sculpture, photograph, or painting, or even other artistic media. But before we get started with today's lesson, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Each week we create lessons to help English learners go from feeling like lost and insecure English learners to being confident and natural English speakers. So if you would like to join our global community of over 370,000, then why not hit that subscribe button and bell down below so you never miss out on any of our new lessons. Alright, so the vocabulary we're going to learn today is quite important because you're going to encounter these objects at some point. For example, this is a sofa or a couch, and a great expression with the word couch is to be a couch potato, which means to lazily watch TV all day instead of going out and getting exercise. For example, he had a busy week at work, so this weekend he'll stay home and be a couch potato. So this is a coffee table, and you'll usually find it in the middle of a lounge or living room area. And a great expression you can use related to tables is to bring something to the table, which means to benefit or contribute to a group. For example, during the meeting, he was nervous because he wasn't sure if he could bring something valuable to the table. So down here we have a rug. And you might be wondering, what's the difference between a carpet and a rug? Well, a carpet is similar, but it covers the entire floor of a room, while a rug is much smaller and it only covers a certain area. A great expression you can learn related to rugs is to sweep something under the rug, which means to hide or ignore something. A similar expression might be to cover something up. For example, during the job interview, he tried to sweep his past mistakes under the rug. Over here, we have the piano, and these black and white things right here are known as the piano keys. So the black ones would be the ebony and the white ones would be ivory, like the famous song by Stevie Wonder and Sir Paul McCartney. A great expression you could use related to a piano is to tickle the ivories, which means to play the piano. So I know not everyone has a piano at home, but why not let me know down in the comments what are some uncommon household items that you have in your home? And why not also add an encouraging message to the rest of the community? So over here we have an easel, which is what holds a canvas while you're painting. And in this case, the easel is holding this beautiful painting right here. A great expression you can learn related to paint is that something is as exciting as watching paint dry, which means that that activity is quite boring or dull. Another great expression related to paint is that a picture paints 1,000 words, which means that a picture can express something way more clearly than words can. For example, his boss told him that a good presentation should contain more graphics and less text, since a picture paints 1,000 words. So over here we have a dining table, and it's where you would commonly have meals. Another great expression you can use related to tables is to turn the tables, which means to reverse a situation to your benefit. For example, she played badly at first, but then she turned the tables on her opponent. So another great expression related to tables is to do something under the table, which doesn't literally mean to do an activity under the table, but it does mean to do something in secret or to do something unofficially. For example, the man might be arrested because he accepted payments under the table. So I mentioned a couch earlier, but over here we have a chair. And a nice expression you could use related to a chair is to nearly fall off your chair, which means to react to something with great surprise or shock. So something that nearly always makes me fall off my chair is how expensive it is to find a good app that allows you to practice with speaking partners from around the world. Well, I found something amazing. Our Real Life English app. This is the only place where anytime, anywhere, at the press of a button, you can connect with other English learners from around the world. You can have fascinating conversations about your life, your passion, your home, absolutely anything. This will take you from feeling like a lost and insecure English learner to being a confident and natural English speaker. So, what are you waiting for? Download it now for free by clicking up here or down in the description below, or simply search for Real Life English in your favorite app store. So this is a hand basin, and this is the tap or faucet. So an expression you could use is to turn on the waterworks, which means to start crying. For example, little kids often turn on the waterworks whenever they want attention. Another cool expression is to wash your hands clean of something or someone, which means to no longer be involved with that person or that thing, or to no longer want to take responsibility for it or them. For example, my neighbors are really mean, and I cannot wait to move to a new city so I can wash my hands clean of them. So here is the bathtub, and a nice idiomatic expression that you could use is to throw the baby out with the bathwater, which means to get rid of something good or valuable along with something bad or something that you no longer want or need. For example, just because you don't get what you want from people does not mean you should end communication with them, because that would just be throwing the baby out with the bathtub. This right here is the toilet, and of course you guys know what this is used for, but this part up here is used to flush the toilet, which means to get rid of what is inside the toilet. So the expression I want to teach you today is to watch something go down the toilet, which means to watch that thing be wasted, spoiled, or ruined. And this expression is quite similar to another one, which is to watch something go down the drain. It has exactly the same meaning. And for those of you who don't know what a drain is, it's the part of a shower, bathtub, or basin where the water is removed. For example, since the new CEO took over, the company is going down the toilet. So over here we have the shower, and a great expression you could use related to showering is to shower someone with something. So you could shower someone with praise or with gifts, and this means to give that person a lot of that particular thing. So now we're in the bedroom, and an expression with the word bed would be to make your bed, which literally means to tidy your bed after you've been sleeping in it. But to make your bed and lie in it means to accept the consequences of your actions. He chose not to stop and ask for directions, and now he is lost. He made his bed, and now he must lie in it. Another cool expression would be to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Now, this doesn't literally mean to wake up on either side of the bed. It means to wake up feeling grumpy and not really positive or yourself. For example, you'd better avoid the boss today. She got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. So these are blinds, and they control how light or dark it is in a room. And these are curtains, which basically do the same thing. A nice expression to know about curtains is to bring the curtain down, which means to bring something to an end. For example, after they had a fight, the couple decided to bring down the curtain on their argument and go to bed instead. So right now I'm in the kitchen, and a common expression you might hear related to the kitchen is, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And what this means is that if you cannot handle the pressure and difficulties of a situation, it's probably better to leave it to someone who can. So over here we have the kitchen sink. And a common expression you might hear is to use everything but the kitchen sink, which means to use everything imaginable. You could also say to bring everything but the kitchen sink, which means to bring a lot of things or to bring everything that you possibly can. For example, they went away for only a few days, but they packed everything but the kitchen sink. And over here we have water, which I will use to do the dishes. And this water is called dishwater. Another cool expression you could use is to say that someone or something is as dull as dishwater, which means that they are very boring or dull. So this part over here is called the stove, and we use it for cooking. And this part right here is the oven, and we usually use it for baking or roasting. And a common expression you will hear for the oven is to have a bun in the oven, which means that someone is pregnant or expecting a baby. So right here we have a kettle, and then we have a pot. And an expression that combines these two items is the pot calling the kettle black. And what that means is someone criticizing someone else for something they themselves are guilty of. For example, I can't believe that you are upset because I was late when you were late last night. That is the pot calling the kettle black. And then an expression related to the pot is to stir the pot, which means to cause trouble. So there you have it, useful expressions related to items in the home. Do you remember all of the expressions we went through today? Well, not to worry, because we put together a free downloadable PDF worksheet that you can access by clicking on the link in the description below. I hope that you learned something new today, and if you enjoyed this lesson, then why not watch this one next? Hey, I'm so happy you came over to practice your English with me again. Remember the last time you were here, we said we would cook together? Well, how would you feel about baking a cake and having some tea with me? Sound good? Come in, let's do it. Okay, so while the cake is in the oven,